When you think of the Grand Canyon, what comes to mind? Maybe it's those jaw-dropping cliffs, the endless layers of colorful rock, or the mighty Colorado River winding its way through the heart of the canyon. But here's a question that might just blow your mind. What's something most people don't know about the Grand Canyon? It turns out the story of the Grand Canyon isn't just about wind, water, and time. There's a hidden chapter, one that starts not in Arizona but all the way across the country, with a colossal crater that may have played a surprising role in shaping this natural wonder. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stick with me, because the science behind this is as wild as any adventure you could have hiking those canyon trails. Let's break it down and see how a single ancient event could ripple across an entire continent and help create one of the world's most iconic landscapes. Deep beneath the surface of the United States, hidden under layers of sediment and water, lies a massive crater, one that's bigger than most people could ever imagine. It's not just a hole in the ground, it's a scar left by a cataclysmic event that changed the course of history for North America. This is the Chesapeake Bay crater. Stretching more than 50 miles wide, it's one of the largest impact craters in the United States, and it's been hiding in plain sight beneath the waters of the Chesapeake Bay for millions of years. Most people who visit the bay have no idea they're boating, fishing, or swimming above the site of a cosmic collision. Picture this. About 35 million years ago, a massive meteor, traveling faster than a bullet, slammed into what is now the East Coast. The force of the impact was so intense, it vaporized rock, sent debris flying for hundreds of miles, and left behind a crater that would shape the land for eons to come. For decades, geologists believed the Chesapeake Bay crater was just a local phenomenon, an East Coast oddity with little effect beyond its immediate surroundings. They studied the rocks, mapped the crater, and marveled at its size, but few suspected it could have influenced anything as far away as the Grand Canyon. But science is all about asking new questions and challenging old assumptions. Recently, a groundbreaking study suggested that the impact of the Chesapeake Bay crater was far more significant than anyone realized. Instead of being just a regional event, it may have set off a chain reaction that reached all the way to the American West. Here's where things get really interesting. Imagine the shockwaves from that ancient impact racing through the Earth's crust, traveling thousands of miles in every direction. These weren't just tiny tremors, they were powerful enough to crack rocks, shift tectonic plates, and alter the very shape of the continent. Scientists now believe those shockwaves didn't just stop at the East Coast. They rippled across North America, disturbing the land and setting off a series of geological changes that would eventually help create the conditions needed for the Grand Canyon to form. These shockwaves may have cracked open new pathways in the Earth's crust, shifted ancient mountain ranges, and even changed the course of rivers that once flowed in entirely different directions. Over millions of years, these changes added up, creating weak spots in the land and redirecting the flow of water across the West. The result? A landscape primed for transformation. The stage was set for something extraordinary to happen. Fast forward millions of years and the Colorado River began its relentless journey, carving deeper and deeper into the rock. But it wasn't just the river's power that made the Grand Canyon possible. It was the weakened, fractured land left behind by that ancient impact. Without those cracks and shifts, the river might never have been able to cut such a deep, dramatic canyon. Geologists have found clues in the rocks themselves, matching layers of sediment, unusual mineral patterns, and evidence of sudden, violent changes in the landscape. These are the fingerprints of a massive event, one that shook the land at just the right time to set the Grand Canyon story in motion. It's like reading a detective novel written in stone. Every layer, every twist in the canyon walls tells a part of the story, a story that began with a meteor crashing into the Earth millions of years ago. So, the next time you stand on the rim of the Grand Canyon, gazing out at that breathtaking view, remember, you're not just looking at the work of wind and water, you're witnessing the aftershock of an ancient space crash, a cosmic event that helped shape one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Would you hike the canyon knowing that a meteor impact, hundreds of miles away and millions of years ago, helped make it possible? Does it change the way you see this natural wonder, knowing its origins are written not just in the rocks, but in the stars? Drop your thoughts below. What other hidden connections do you think are waiting to be discovered in our world? And don't forget to subscribe for more science surprises, mind-blowing facts, and the stories behind the wonders you thought you knew.